I want to welcome all of you. It's already been done, but I want to second that on behalf of the fund, on behalf of the Save Lake George Partnership. This is really I think, kind of a watershed event, if you will. We had, just so folks know, we have a waiting list for people to get into this event in Ticonderoga, of all places, which that's not knocking Ticonderoga, but this is not an easy place to get to for a lot of people who are here. So thank you for making the effort. It makes all the difference. And for me, for those of us who've been working on this for a number of years now, it's really inspiring to have you all here from the Lake George Basin and beyond. We have people from as far away as Rochester, from the Mohonk Mountain House downstate to where else? I mean, it's Vermont, thank you. And so it's catching on, and that's a good thing. It's a vital thing, because what's in this room reflects the extent of the collaboration we are going to need to solve the problem. Best practices on road salt reduction, we're going to go through these element by element, are really the building blocks, if you will, for reducing road salt use and sustaining success over time. And it's only going to be through our shared commitment to these practices that we are going to make Lake George a model, not just for the region, but for the nation. That's our goal, and you know what? Together we can actually make that happen. That's not hyperbole, that's a fact. Make sure this little... There you have it, road salt, right? What do we know about road salt? Road salt has been declared the acid rain of our time, and there's a good basis for that. According to recent studies, freshwater lakes across North America are becoming saltier. We've got the facts, we have the science. Every year, an estimated 23 million metric tons of road salt are applied on North American roadways. Just to give some perspective to that, in terms of weight, that's as much as 70 Empire State Buildings every year on our roads. That's a lot of salt. That's too much salt. And we got to change that. And Lake George, I'm afraid, is no exception. We haven't dodged this bullet. And I'm going to get into the details here. You see it on the screen. Every year in Lake George, about 30,000 metric tons are applied. This includes both public roadways and private surfaces, sidewalks, driveways, etc. It's an estimate. But that is another huge number, and to put that in perspective, that's about 300 rail cars or a train 3 miles long every year being applied. And where does it drain? Drains into the lake, drains through the streams, saturates the soils, etc. However, here's the good news. Unlike acid rain, we can stop it here, and we can do it now. We're empowered to do this. We know what it's going to take, with one objective. You all know what it is. It's reducing the use. This is our mantra, this is our goal, this is our objective, and here's how we do it. Chris mentioned it, and I'm going to reiterate it because it bears repeating. It is through unparalleled partnership. A lot of you who are represented in the room, the diversity of attendance in this room, the diversity of participation from the state of New York to the counties in the basin, to all the municipalities, to the privates, etc. It's going to take that kind of dedicated partnership to get us where we need to go in a timely way. Can you hear me? So basin-wide commitment on this quest began with formal adoption of a road salt application MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, that was adopted formally by all municipalities in the basin. And It really details the problem as well as the solution, and it sets the stage for what we need to do and how we need to do it. The Save Lake George Partnership, our summit host, spearheaded this process. And for those of you who don't know SAVE, just a brief bit of background. SAVE is a public-private consortium of leaders in the basin that initially came together to advocate for and subsequently co-invest in the aquatic invasive species prevention program, which is now considered to be the leading program in the eastern United States. So ably led by Dave Wick, the Lake George Park Commission, Dave's executive director there, and his group of dedicated commissioners. We wouldn't have gotten so far so fast without the Park Commission's leadership on this. SAVE's purpose has expanded, building on the momentum we created and the investments we made to focus on salt, using this same MOU approach, but taking it to the next level. In fact, we, coming out of the last SALT Summit last year, we created the Best Practices Agreement, which gets us into more of the meat and potatoes, the details of how we're going to reduce the use. I'm going to go into this in a little bit of detail. What are these best practices to reduce the use? Here they are. Measure, calibrate, prevent, analyze, improve, optimize. They're simple. They're building blocks, if you will. We're not trying to put somebody on Mars. This isn't what this is about. But it is a systematic, comprehensive application of tested practices, comprehensively applied basin-wide. That's what it's going to take to realize our goal. And what we're going to hear about throughout the morning are highlights of the progress that's been made. You'll be fully briefed on each of these steps by our seasoned pros in the room this morning. So touching on a few of those, we start with measuring and calibrating. The supervisor mentioned some of what's happening in Ticonderoga. We're proud to say that's happening basin-wide, and we have some really telling data on application rates that we never had before. Brining, or also known as anti-icing rather than de-icing roadways, makes a huge difference in the volume of salt being applied on roadways. It's in process now, it's underway, and you're going to hear from Pam Buckley and others about how that's working. And particularly when combined with upfitting of equipment, and in this case live edge plows, when you combine brining with a plow like this that is much more efficient in snow removal, it is like the double-barreled approach to reducing the use. It works well, and we have testimonials speaking to this fact. And finally, analysis. Analysis is ongoing, studying application rates, understanding where we need to focus our energies, our efforts, our investments as well. That guides the process for improving and optimizing results over time, and you're going to hear a lot about that. So, final slide. The solution is actually simple, and that's it. It is basin-wide commitment to implementation of best practices, and I'm happy to say we are on track to doing just that. Even at this early stage, we have some remarkable results to report. You're going to hear about those. And I have to stress this. The rewards for our Great Lake, that is the hub of a $2 billion tourism economy, will be huge, not just for now, but for generations to come. And I think everyone involved in this endeavor that lives and breathes collaboration should take pride in the path we're forging for generations to come. I want to thank you again for being here and look forward to meeting those I haven't met at past summits. Thank you very much.